917. Rescue team. Right. Just sleeping or what?
Blood all over his face.
Can you have eyes on injury?
Yeah, go straight on the stretcher.
He's unconscious.
A reggaeton star is found in the trunk of a car, shot in the head. But the man charged with the crime denies he's the one behind it.
Thank you.
We'll take you inside that interrogation room and we'll tell you what is believed to be the motive behind this crime that left his fans devastated.
With regard to the second-degree murder charge, is that the correct charge? It looks like he shot him in the head and then dragged his body and put him in a vehicle, and the victim subsequently died. Isn't there intent to kill? Wouldn't that be an attempted wouldn't it be a first-degree murder charge?
Plus, I sat down with the singer's manager. We'll have his thoughts on the alleged killer's denial.
All the evidence points obviously towards him.
Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner. Cuban singer Taiger was found unresponsive in the back of an SUV, but there wasn't blood found in the car. So how did he get there? Well, someone placed him there, and it was all caught on camera. This body cam shows the moments officers find reggaeton singer Taiger, whose real name is Jose Manuel Carbajal Zaldivar, in the back of an SUV.
Are you located?
Yourself. What's the tag on this?
Verify where you located the vehicle.
917. Rescue team. Right. Just sleeping or what?
Blood all over his face.
Can you have eyes on injury?
Yeah, go straight on the stretcher.
He's unconscious. Partially naked. What's the tag on this vehicle? Lower the thing here. Lower this a little bit. Sir?
It looks like somebody over here. Hey, okay. He either shot himself or
I'm sorry, lower the tag a little bit.
Hey.
Lower the tag. Julia Whiskey 1255.
JJW G55.
Possible shot.
He's snoring.
Roll eyes.
Hey,
Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Don't touch anything. Sir, don't touch anything.
You guys give me the ID then.
Yeah, don't worry about the ID. It might be
he's a big dude. Hey, listen.
guys, try not to touch the vehicle, okay?
Yes, sir.
At this point, first responders didn't know what happened to him. They were focused on rushing him to the hospital that was nearby and saving his life.
Looks like he was beat up or something, right? He's not shot? Is he shot or just beat up? Huh? Okay.
You just maintain North Carolina 17.
Move. 4111, he's been shot in the head. I may need some more units to rope this off.
Officials say the singer sustained a gunshot wound and had to undergo surgery. He had to be put on life support and held on for days, but eventually passed away from his injuries. His death sent shockwaves, not only for his loved ones, but his fans too. But when detectives investigated the case, something was off. Like, for one, there wasn't traces of blood inside the car. You know how crime shows go. If there was a shooting in the car, there would be noticeable blood. Another thing, he was found in the back of an SUV. Plus, there was no gun found in the car. So investigators had to start from scratch. Did anyone call 911? I mean, someone had to. And someone did. A man called 911 claiming to see a man being thrown in a black Jeep in front of Jackson Memorial Hospital. The calls were in Spanish, but they reportedly said, "I was passing by, snooping as I parked, and I saw the car was on. I thought it was strange. I didn't see anyone in there. I leaned in, and it appears there's a man thrown in the car." The dispatcher asked if the man inside was just sleeping. The caller said he tried knocking on the car window, then noticed a ton of blood on the floor of the car. But we didn't hear that part about finding a ton of blood in the body cam. Well, that's another thing that's off with this case. So who was the 911 caller? Police say that it was Damian Valdez Galloso. During the investigation, police learned the singer went to Damian's home earlier on the morning of October 3rd, a day before he was discovered in the SUV near Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami. When Taiger met with Damian that morning, their interaction was caught on a neighboring surveillance camera, and we've obtained that surveillance video. Let me ask you something. How much time do you think your business team is wasting buried in spreadsheets, chasing down receipts, and reconciling endless rows of bank statements? Yeah, probably a little too much. That's where Odoo Accounting steps in. Odoo gives users a clean, modern accounting dashboard that shows you exactly what you need. Your bank balances, cash flow, vendor bills, customer invoices, all of that's in one place. It's intuitive, easy to navigate, and for anyone managing their business's accounting, it's invaluable. You want to know why Odoo will give your business a cutting edge? Odoo uses smart AI with a 98% recognition rate to automatically generate invoices and vendor bills. So all you have to do is just review and validate, and that's it. And their bank reconciliation is next level. Odoo connects with more than 28,000 banks to automatically match your transactions with your financial records to give you pinpoint accuracy, so no more guesswork. Need reports? Odoo's got everything from your balance sheet to your cash flow statements, professionally formatted and instantly accessible. So if you've been doing all of this accounting work manually, you can stop this instant. Automate invoices, vendor bills, and accounting workflow with Odoo today. Get a free 15-day trial today at www.odoo.com/LCNewsAccounting and see what your business has been missing with Odoo. Now, it's kind of hard to tell from this angle, but notice the far left corner of your screen. The video shows Taiger arriving to Damian's home and standing near the front door. You can see some type of altercation go down, and then the singer is on the ground. He laid on the ground, and mind you, still alive at this point, for several minutes. Then you see his body being dragged down the front lawn by his ankles before being placed into the back of that dark-colored SUV where he was found hours later. Now remember, Taiger fought for his life, so Damian wasn't immediately arrested. But he eventually was arrested about 2 weeks later, more than 1,000 miles away, when he was found in New York City. When he was extradited back to Miami, an investigator spoke with Damian.
Estoy aquí solo porque necesito saber la parte que pasó contigo y esa noche.
Damian claimed Taiger went to his home to borrow $20,000. He claimed someone was with Taiger too, but as you can see from the surveillance video, it was just the singer at the door alone. And the detective told Damian no one else was there, but Damian was adamant someone was there. He reportedly told the detective Taiger owed him about $18,000, so he didn't know how he was going to get $20,000. He claims that he stepped out in front of his home. The supposed other man that was there told him that he had until midnight to pay up. Damian claims that there was a point he went back inside the home, and when he came out, Taiger was laid in the front of the home with blood all over. So that begs the question, if someone else shot the singer, why wouldn't Damian just call police? I mean, he did call 911, but at that time, he claimed he saw someone drag Taiger's body into the back of that SUV. During his police interview, he claimed he did drive Taiger to the hospital, and he owned up that he did call 911. However, he wasn't there when first responders arrived. Damian told the investigator that there was a reason. He claimed a car rushed at him, making him fear for his life. He said there was one person who would corroborate that story, Taiger himself. Damian told the detective when Taiger wakes up, he'll be able to tell police exactly what happened. But by this point, when he's speaking with the detective, we know that couldn't happen. Damian was ultimately arrested and arraigned.
Sir, you were arrested for 2 cases. The first one is an arrest warrant charging you with failure to register as required by law. The case is from October 3rd of 2024. The charge is second-degree murder, attempted tampering with physical evidence, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. With regard to the second-degree murder charge, is that the correct charge? It looks like you shot him in the head and then dragged his body and put him in a vehicle, and the victim subsequently died. Isn't there intent to kill? Wouldn't that be an attempted wouldn't it be a first-degree murder charge?
Judge, I don't know if we have enough evidence yet to prove premeditation, which is necessary for a first.
The judge ruled to hold Damian behind bars, and he's remained without bond since last November. Since that hearing, though, Damian's charges were upgraded to first-degree murder when he was indicted by a grand jury. With the charges going from second-degree murder to first-degree murder, prosecutors could have chosen to seek the death penalty against him. However, they decided not to. So if Damian's convicted on the first-degree murder charge alone, he will face life in prison instead. Now, we still don't know the full extent of what allegedly led Damian to shoot Taiger. Now, some reports have claimed it was a drug deal gone wrong, but according to Taiger's manager, he believes it's too early to know. And I'm joined now by El Taiger's manager, and that's Marcel Reynosa. Marcel, thank you so much for being here. It's been almost a year since El Taiger's death. Take us back to last year when you first heard of the news.
Oh, it was devastating. We first saw the news October 3rd. Um, we had to rush to the hospital. It was just been bad. So we're still gasping with the news, and everything surrounding by it. A lot of legalities. Even myself got involved in the legal system, which is kind of good or bad because we've been learning, I guess, the scope around it. But it's been tough. It's been tough for dealing that he's no longer here already, and trying to live on with his legacy.
And he was a huge name when it comes to reggaeton music. What was the community's reaction to his murder? I can only imagine how they reacted to hearing the news of his death.
Yeah, devastating. He was number one in Cuba. Obviously here in the States it's kind of tough because Miami is like the biggest community. So yeah, Miami, Cuba. He has a lot of numbers in Spain and Europe, but it was devastating. People did ceremonies in Europe, Cuba, Miami, pretty much all over where his music was heard.
Yeah, and I'm sure for his fans, they're still grasping with the news even to this day as well.
Oh
And
yeah,
talk
yeah,
to,
even to these
yeah.
days, yeah.
Yeah. And talk to me a little bit, I know this is kind of tough about his alleged killer, Damien. Was he someone that El Tiger knew for a while? Did you ever come across him at any point?
I wouldn't think he knew. Obviously, he would go to the house so frequently. It was like a habit, I guess. So I would say the last thing he might be thinking that was gonna happen. He's gonna get shot there, So at the beginning when we saw him, I think the interview just came out a couple of weeks ago. We're kind of like skeptical, but then when we saw Damien blaming the city of Miami, I'm like, okay, this guy just crazy, So, in my opinion, he did it probably, but again, allegedly. I know he has to be proven in court with the system, which is great, but all the evidence points obviously towards him.
Mm. I know, and it seems like there's a lot of overwhelming evidence. You have the 911 calls, you have the surveillance video, but are you surprised that Damien's claiming that this was self-defense and that he was acting in self-defense when he allegedly
Uh,
shot the singer?
I mean, he's gonna have to bring up the whatever defense he wants. At the end of the day, the evidence is there. No matter what happens, I think the last resort is taking somebody's life. And he shot him straight to the head. He didn't even shoot him to the legs. Whatever it is. And he knew him personally. I think I wouldn't say he calculated this, but he knew he was going on that day. I do believe the police has more evidence that they're still releasing, so I think they're very confident. Even when we spoke with the state attorney, they're very confident on the case. They have a very solid case.
And have prosecutors revealed to you at all, possibly, or investigators, what the motive might have been behind this? As far as what we've been reading in reports, it's been suggested that it might have been a drug deal gone bad, it might have been over money. What are your thoughts on what kind of the reports are suggesting in terms of the motive?
I don't think they have a motive yet. I I think Damien, again, the video that they released, that video we have to understand it was recorded in November, so we really don't know what has transcribed from November to now. So kind of speculating, and I said people obviously reacting to the video that just got released now. That video was recorded in November, so I don't know Damien position nowadays. I don't know if he already did a new confession, if there's a motive, or he's saying, "Oh look, okay, I got caught. This is what happened. This is the actual truth." So I think that will come to light in the trial if it does make it to trial. I think that will be very interesting to see the actual motive behind it.
And watching, honestly, the surveillance video was very shocking to see. We do a lot of shocking stories, right? But in terms of just kind of seeing those kind of final moments in terms of El Tiger approaching the home, the shots ringing out, and then what had happened in the aftermath of that, what was your reaction if you saw the surveillance video, especially with it being on the news? But what was your reaction to just the callousness and the terrible, horrific nature of the way his final moments were?
I could have. I think I briefly saw it. I couldn't see the whole thing. It was,
Yeah.
like me getting in his shoes, mm, us knowing personally, the way we knew him. It's just very tough. It's not something I will watch all over again. We saw briefly, it was tough. He just collapsing in the ground. Everything that Damien did, carried the body, putting on the trunk of the car, like the whole thing to me is it's out of a movie, honestly.
It is. And just leaving his body outside of the hospital there and then calling 911, initially saying that, oh, well, he saw someone kind of falling asleep. Then he saw blood. But then police say there wasn't blood in the car, that it might have been shot somewhere else. And what's your reaction to all these changing stories? I know when he was initially interviewed by police, that was back in November, kind of shortly after the shooting and the murder. But in terms of just his changing story since then, do you buy anything that he's saying?
Oh no, definitely not. And the more he changes the story, the worse it looks for him. Even when the jury, when they see all the changes of story, I think it's just gonna look bad on him. Which obviously will create a more solid case, in you know, in our favor. We do want to see obviously the maximum sentence. We hopefully they apply the full extent of the law. To him, it was a very horrific crime. And we're just waiting for the evidence. Honestly, we can't wait to for this to go to trial.
And we know that a grand jury indicted Damien on first degree murder. He was initially charged with second degree murder. His charges were upgraded, and he could have been eligible for the death penalty, but prosecutors decided they'll be seeking life in prison instead if he's convicted. What was your reaction to the prosecution's decision there?
Uh, as long as he doesn't get out of jail, I think that would be the main goal, at least for him to get life in prison without parole. Because again, if he gets life in prison with parole, I think he might be looking to get parole in what, 20, 25 years. My opinion, I don't think he should live jail at all. Like I said, he took somebody's life. Uh, he was dealing obviously with a lot of personal stuff, but it doesn't give him the right, to take his life the way he did it. Honestly.
Yeah. And in terms of, we talk about the murder, the case, the death, but in terms of El Tiger's legacy, what do you want fans and people who may not even know his music to remember him by?
And I think it's just the legacy, the music. I mean, I'm not gonna compare him obviously to Celia Cruz. Celia Cruz, she was well known on the American side and then the Hispanic side. But we do obviously want his legacy to continue. September 5th, they're also doing like a little memorial, I guess per se. His birthday was September 6th, so we're trying to gather something. Again, aside from the crime part, there's also the civil cases that is been going on back and forth. Because again, when he passed away, he didn't have any trust. He didn't have like a state or anything. So imagine now you have everybody
Yeah.
trying to grasp what they can. So it's just being a legal battle on the civil side and on the criminal side, like both ends. So it's been draining. Well, I mean, we've been dealing this almost a year already,
Yeah.
and I think I'm estimating another year per se until everything settles down.
And is there any kind of end in sight in terms of the civil matter? Do you see kind of an end near or light at the end of the tunnel? How's that been going so far?
You guys know how it is with like celebrities. Obviously, unfortunately, you're gonna have different sides fighting for something that they believe they are entitled to. But we leave it to the justice system. We leave it to the judges in this case. Provide the evidence. But hopefully, at the end of the day, we're able to see that they're damaging, his legacy, his music, instead of obviously the monetary part, I guess.
And has his loved ones, how have they been handling all of this? I can only imagine how they've been feeling
Oh, it's been
throughout.
tough. He left four kids behind, three daughters and one son. So it's been tough. They've been the kids, the biggest one. They've been trying to obviously to move forward, and do positive thing to the community. And obviously awareness. Of everything that's happened. A lot of people have learned from this. A lot of artists in the industry. It shocked obviously both side of the aisle.
Yeah. absolutely. And this case is just shocking overall. And, I want to go back to the criminal case really quick. If this case does go to trial and say, for instance, Damian, doesn't plead guilty or anything like that, because as of right now, he's pleaded not guilty. But if this case were to go to trial, will you be attending trial every single day?
Oh yeah, our friends. A lot of people have been attending the hearings. The hearings, they just draining. You guys know the hearings like 5, 10 seconds. It's just like a status hearings, but definitely the trial will be present at the trial. I would say it from the day one. A lot of people obviously have taken advantage of these cases for marketing, whatever to grow whatever they're doing. For even for me, it's very serious. What we try to stay behind the scenes a little more. It is very personal, but on the trial, we're definitely going to be there every day. And the case is still, I think they're still doing more evidence. The car that he was driving was marked, it was under my name. So I think the police even still have the car in the impound or still. So I don't think they're done yet. I don't think they're done with the evidence.
And have they given you any word that you'll be called to testify or anything like that?
The state attorney told me they might subpoena me. But again, that was back in December. I haven't got a word anymore, so I don't know if it's going to be necessary or not. Obviously, if it is, I'll be open to it. It's not a problem at all.
Okay. And have the state prosecutors also given you any word on when the next hearing will be?
Oh no, everything's public record. They've been doing hearings every month, like a status hearing. I don't think they have said anything for trial yet. But once they start the trial, I think it will be a very big news when the trial actually starts. That'll be very interesting to see. With the judges, the jury, I think it will be a very interesting case. But again, I'm very confident on the evidence, and it's very solid evidence. Of what happened that night.
And we'll see how this continues to play out. Marcel, I want to thank you so much again for your time and your insight into this case. Before we sign you off, is there anything you'd like our viewers, again, to know about El Taiger?
No, definitely. We just want to make more awareness, how great the music was, even for the Cuban community. So, it just being awareness and what bad decisions, can lead to a sense. But, I thank you guys for your time. Thank you guys for taking the time on the case as well. It means a lot to us and to the family.
And thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. Marcel Reynosa, again, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Damian Valdez Galloso remains locked up in the Miami-Dade County Jail on no bond. He had a status hearing on August 12th, and his next court date is scheduled for September 15th. Thanks so much for joining us here on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner.